Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. And on our board, we have the discussion that we had in our last video. And I'm going to go through a little review. I'm going to reference it up here. It was quite intense. So if you have an opportunity, please look at that. But here's what we talked about. It's amazing how perfectly your world fits you. You kind of slide into your world like a hand slides into a glove. And we looked at several options of how that takes place. And we talked about four things, four scientific things. So in our model, we started out with the representation of the infinite field of everything. And then we talked about the subconscious mind, the little conscious mind, and the input from the senses. And this scientifically, this is what we found out, and you'll find a reference in the description of that last video. The subconscious mind processes information at about the rate of 400 billion bits of data per second. And the input from all of our senses together operate at 11 million. 11 million. So it is quite a bit slower on getting us information than the subconscious mind is at processing it, because it processes it very quickly. And here we have our little conscious mind operating at 100 bits per second. So the little conscious mind is a billion times slower than the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind, very big. It holds all your life experiences, all your memories. Anything that you have ever done in your life, it is stored here in the subconscious mind. Much of it not available to the conscious mind. So this process between your input data from your senses and the processing of your subconscious mind, so fast in the background, the conscious mind has no idea what it is. But this is all we know, what it tells us. And it kind of lags behind this background information that is going on so fast. And so we really don't know. We think we do, because we say we're conscious and therefore we know what's going on. But you don't. You're not that conscious, and the conscious mind is very slow. And so you're only getting the drags, after everything is done, some information. And you think, well, I know everything. I'm aware, I'm conscious. You're so out of step with how fast this is operating that it's pathetic. But that's what we believe. Another scientific fact that we talked about, and you'll see it in the video, is the fact that your decisions that you think you are making consciously are made by the subconscious mind. Anywhere from a couple millionths of a second before to up to 10, 12, maybe more seconds before you're consciously aware that your subconscious has already made the decision. And then your conscious mind just rationalizes why you made the decision that you did. Makes it very logical, but the decision is made here in the subconscious mind. And that's another thing we talked about. Also, everything is interconnected. There's nothing that stands alone that is not affected by the environment and what's around it. So those are the things we talked about. Those are the things that are going on in this infinite field of everything that we're embedded in. And now we're going to go on to another topic. And this is our subject for today. And here's what it is. Beliefs are more powerful than the truth. Beliefs are more powerful than the truth. So we're going to talk about beliefs and truth. Now, which do you believe is more powerful? Watch the question. Which do you believe is more powerful? Now, so you kind of keep that in the background, what your answer is. And I want to point this out here. If you believe, that should be believe it. If you believe it, will you see it? Yes. That's what this says over here. Yes, if you believe it, you will see it. Now, if you don't believe it, will you see it? If you don't believe it, can you see it? No. If you see it, it's there. And in a moment, we'll talk about A Course in Miracles and a few of their statements. Beliefs are formed in two ways only. Repetition and hypnosis. Repetition and hypnosis. Now, hypnosis is an altered state. So you start picking up your beliefs way before your conscious mind is aware of them. How does that happen? You start picking up beliefs in the womb, in the second trimester, when the brain is electrically turned on, which means now it can process information. You are picking up information and storing it in your small, at that time, very immature subconscious mind. And it goes in because at that time, your new brain is operating at a very low frequency, which is a hypnotic state. It's a delta state, quite low. And so the information is just going in with no filter. And you have no idea, because you don't have any conscious awareness at that time, that you're picking up information. Now, in your first 3 years of life, the brain goes through some changes, and you change your frequency naturally up from a delta to a theta, but it's still a hypnotic state, which means you're open with no filter. You are open to whatever information is given to you, and it becomes the truth for you. Consciously, you will never know it. Now, during that very young age, where does most of your information come from? Family of origin. And that's why you pick up beliefs around what the family, the culture, the extended family, all of that goes into making who you are, and that progresses to the next generation. So, but you won't know that those were beliefs, because you'll believe what you believe is the truth. That's the way it goes. So when you believe it, then you'll begin to see in your life, you will begin to see those things that support what your belief system, your very small belief system is. And now, how are beliefs formed? A repetition, repetition, repetition. You hear the same thing. You do the same thing. You go to the same family reunions. You go to the same spiritual leaders. And at that age, mind open, the information just goes on into you, and it becomes the truth. And you might have heard, I know we talked about perception, but the saying is, perception is reality. Perception is the truth. No, it's not. It's just another experience. It's not the truth. But you believe it is. So what you believe makes it true. If you were raised in a different culture, a different country, a different language, a different history, you would have different beliefs. Oh no, I would have the same beliefs because they're true. No. It's all arbitrary. It's all what you take in. Once you take it in and it becomes true for you only because of your beliefs. That's why we have wars. So I mean, to get along with distant relatives. That's why people that talk a different language or look a different way or have different attributes aren't the true people. Well, we're the true people. We're the real people. So now we have, there is another saying, I didn't write it down, but I'll say it, because you hear it a lot. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. That's very incorrect, because you can't see it if you don't believe it. And if you don't believe it, you're not going to see it. And therefore, you will never see it until you change your beliefs. Why should I change my beliefs? They're true. My beliefs are true. My spiritual beliefs, my cultural beliefs, my politics, the school I went to, whether it was a religious school or secular school, those are all true. It's an illusion. But we believe it's true. Now, beliefs are more important than the truth. Now, let's look at A Course in Miracles. Two of the statements, they kind of lock together, and they kind of are what we've already talked about. But I want to let you know that I'm not making this stuff up. It's also very scientific, what I'm telling you. But you won't think so in the egoic world. You say, no, that's not true. The truth is important. The truth will set you free. Only if you believe it. No matter what the truth is, the truth, the real truth, can set you free. But you'll never know it until, if you look at the other videos on perception, until you cleanse your lens of perception. And what is your lens? Your belief system. And what do beliefs turn into? Your belief system. See, these things are all interlocked, but you don't recognize it's all an illusion. So here's what the Course says. Here's the first statement. All beliefs are real to the believer. All beliefs are true. I added that. All beliefs are true to the believer. Will they see that they're not true? Not as long as they believe they're true. Because if you believe it, you'll see it. Now that's the first statement. Now here's the second one. It is impossible not to believe what you see. It's impossible not to believe what you see. Now here's the second part that we don't really look at because we don't see it that way yet. But it is equally impossible to see what you don't believe. It's impossible to see what you don't believe. And that's what I put up here before. I wanted you to stimulate yourself so that you might get the insight into those statements. If you don't believe it, you're not going to see it. And therefore, if you don't believe it, you're not going to see it. And therefore, if it's an injustice, you can never change it. Why? Because you don't believe it. Now, only when you believe there is an injustice can you change. Can you see it? Can you make a difference? Yes. So your belief system is very important. What about the truth? Well, the truth isn't that important. It's the belief that is all important. Can the truth and the belief be the same? Absolutely. Can the truth and the belief be different? Yes, unfortunately, yes. And which carries the most weight, the most power? The belief. That's why propaganda is so important during times of conflict, to keep the masses believing not what the truth is, but what the agenda is. This is very important. And we don't see it. Now, how do you know the belief or the truth? Which is right? Which should you follow? Or how do you know the belief isn't true? By their fruits, you will know them. By their fruits, you will know them. It's not a big mystery. It's this. It's your beliefs. Oh, there's so much here. And if you think about it, as an example, see, if a certain thing happens, if A, the cause, causes B as a effect, cause and effect, it's a cause and effect relationship. When A happens, B is the result. And when you do it enough, when that happens enough, you develop a belief. Well, I believe in it, B, because when A happens, B always happens. So you form a belief. Now, you look out onto the world. Look wherever you're at. I happen to be on the 8th floor of an apartment building. And I look out and I see the world's flat. We're on a flat world. So I get up and I look again next day. Well, it's the same thing. It's a flat world. So the world is flat. Everybody believes the world is flat. Everybody. Everybody I ask, my friends, they say, look out there, is the world flat? I say, well, yeah, the world's flat. So now we have a flat world. There's a whole society that fosters, and they have conferences, and they get together and they talk about things, about how the world is flat. And in that thing, we say, well, no, the world, what's the truth? Was the world ever flat? No, the world was never flat. But we believe for eons of time, thousands of years, the earth was flat. We even have our language is around the earth being flat. The truth is not important. Well, we didn't know the truth. We didn't know this and we didn't know that. But now we know the truth, that the world is round. It's a globe. Only for some people, because they have a different belief system. It's the same way with everything. It's the same way with spiritual paths. It's the same way with finding enlightenment. It's the same way of finding the kingdom. We have certain beliefs that we believe are true. There's nothing true in the illusion. It's illusionary. But we believe it's true. That's how powerful these are. You'll die for your beliefs. You'll kill for your beliefs. You'll steal for your beliefs. You do a lot of negative things for your beliefs. But you also can do magnificent things because of what you believe. It's not the truth that is important. It's what you believe the truth is that's important. And that's an illusion. Oh, there's much to talk about here in the illusion. I have I have put a lot in the description, so if you have an opportunity, take a look at that. If not, begin to recognize it's not the truth that sets you free. It is your beliefs that you can change into the truth. But if you don't change your beliefs, you'll never see it. You'll never see it. You're a very powerful creator, but you create through your belief system, and your belief system is flawed by the past, which does not exist. Heal the past, change your belief system, and purify your lens of perception. And when you do, you will begin to appreciate the truth that has always been there, but hidden behind the egoic belief system. Be good to yourself. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time, right here in the illusion. Bye now.